What's up guys? My name is Zach, and this week I've been driving the 2023 Lexus RX350 F Sport. Up front is a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be making this video because I have spent the last actually 8 days driving the RX350 due to a scheduling conflict. I actually had it for an extra day this week, and so I've spent a lot of time in here, and I have a lot of good things to say and some not so positive. I think there's going to be some interesting buying advice towards the end of the video, so I encourage you to stick around. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle to be reviewed by me, you can head on over to my website, zachpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 2.4 liter turbo under the hood. Well, out goes the 3.5 liter V6, and in its place is a little 4-cylinder turbo. I think the power is actually really nice coming from the 2.4. You won't notice that difference going from the RX350 with the V6 up to this new one with the 2.4. On ramps, around town, it has plenty of passing power, which is fantastic. Now, like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic, and again, really good feeling. Been shifting nice and quietly, it's been shifting exactly how I would want it to shift, and I have zero complaints. Last but not least, this particular RX350 is all-wheel drive. So how does it feel to actually drive the RX350? Well, this is one of the best parts of the car. It's nice, it's calm, quiet, and collected. It has a comfortable ride. It's easy to maneuver. Throttle is great. Visibility is great. And overall, it's a really good slam dunk. I drive 7 cars a week here on the channel, and so it was nice to drive the crazy, wild, ambitious cars and then get back into the RX350 and kind of slow things down a little bit and enjoy my drive home without the frustrations of heavy steering or lazy throttle. So the driving experience is definitely a big win when it comes to the RX350. Fuel economy, 24.7 over my 200-ish miles in the RX350. Not stellar, but for a bigger SUV with a 4-cylinder, I'll take what I can get. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a mix of physical and digital gauges. Off to the left, I have coolant temperature, and off to the right is my fuel, but then I get a digital screen in the center for my gauges like tachometer, speedometer, things like that. I like how they are visually laid out. I think Lexus does a really good job with their digital gauges, making them look pleasing to the eye and not too crazy. Up above, I do have a head-up display, which is one of the clearest head-up displays I have ever seen in a car. Love that. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have some multi-select buttons. This can be set to like skip track or other things. Volume and pages, and off to the right, I have more selectable buttons, more pages, and my adaptive cruise control options. Around the back, we do have the paddle shifters, and this is an F Sport steering wheel, so it gets the perforated leather wrapping around it. Off to the left, I have a climate control vent, my odometer and gauge dimmer switch. Memory seat options, get 3 levels of that, which is fantastic. Gas cap, and my rear tailgate release. Moving on to the door, we have this awesome, nice material with the Mark Levinson speaker. Power mirrors, power locks, and power windows, along with the door handle is now a powered push button as opposed to a more standard handle. Moving into the center, we get this giant infotainment system that I've actually been a pretty big fan of. It's very clear, has a very high refresh rate, and is very easy to operate and navigate. One of my favorite things in here is you could actually change the mood lighting at night. You can go into the settings and change that, one of my favorite features. And here's what the backup camera looks like. Now, one downside is the fact that this doesn't come with a front camera. Lexus, for whatever reason, really doesn't want to give you a front camera, no matter the price point. So I would have liked to have seen that, especially given the fact that this is all new for 2023. I feel like they could have easily and should have easily added that. However, we do have our climate controls that are ran through the screen. If you guys are fans of the channel, you'll know that I don't really like this. I like having physical climate controls. However, they always are at the bottom. It is a little annoying because when you go to turn on your heated seat, the first option is auto, so you have to hit it twice if you just want it on. Little annoying there, and the fan speed is a slider dial. So I don't love it, but I also don't hate it with a passion. We do have physical temperature knobs for the driver and passenger. However, their readout is digital. And I do have my defrost as a button, heated mirrors as a button, and volume as a physical button as well. Then we have more climate control vents with the hazard switch, a little cubby 2 USB-C ports, and an openable cubby that does have a wireless charger, which is fantastic. It works all the time, which can't be said about Toyota products. And some empty space. And moving up onto the center console, we do have the shifter off to the left. This is the Prius shifter that they've been using for almost 2 decades. Lexus is now adapting it in place of the jigsaw shifter. Here's what the older jigsaw shifters used to look like, in case you're wondering. We saw this in the LC500. I don't love the shifter, but it's here and it's fine. Down below that, we have our brake hold, traction control off, off-road mode, auto start stop, hill descent control, and power parking brake. Plenty to love there. But off to the right, we do have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the RX350 from 2023, and unfortunately it fails. Predictable, but still a fail. Then we get a center console with absolutely nothing in it. Then we gotta talk about the seats. The seats are heated, ventilated, power and memory, and they are very comfortable. They're this really nice premium feeling leather, which I have come to know and love from Lexus, so right on brand with the rest of their products. And driving it around town, driving it on the highway this last 8 days has really been very, very comfortable. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2023 Lexus RX350 F Sport all-wheel drive, and the first thing I noticed, this is actually my first time in the back seat, these seats are so cushy and so comfortable. This is really like old style Lexus. I mean, I put my fist into it and it sinks all the way in. The foam or backing or whatever is under here is fantastic, and this is like old Lexus. I love that. I do have my own climate control vents and climate controls down here. I also have my 2 USB-C chargers, and I do get a center console, little pop open cup holders here. These back seats, this is old style Lexus. This is what I miss. This is what I love. And so I'm very happy to see that in the RX350. Other than that, nothing too crazy. The same powered handles over here as well. Same nice material and Mark Levinson speaker on the door. Love all of that. And I have my own lock and unlock back here, which I am hitting lock, but you're not hearing anything. There's no noise when it locks. Very premium feeling. Let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. Right around the back of the RX350, press and hold here on the key fob, and it is a power opening trunk. So, plenty of space. RX350 has always been good at this throughout time. The RX chassis is one of the bigger SUVs that they offer. There's also the NX and UX under it, and of course there's the LX and GX above it. So this is, I guess, mid-range. I wouldn't say it's big, but, you know, it is what it is. Tons of space back here, plenty for what I would want to do. Can pop this up as well. We do get a spare tire, jack, things like that. Lovely space around the back of the RX350. And I can close it and lock it up here, or with my foot, just kick it underneath. It'll give you a second to get out of the way and close like that. Love that little foot kicker down below. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and this is finished in Grecian water, I believe is how you pronounce it. Very interesting color. I think it's a little bit more of a cheaper looking color. The whole reason I asked Lexus for this vehicle was for their rose gold copper sort of color that they've been putting out. I thought the press car was going to be in that color. It wasn't, which is still fine, but that color is so gorgeous. One of the best colors, if not the best color on sale right now. So I highly recommend seeking out one of those. But I digress. I still think the RX350 looks good, especially the back. Take a look at it at night, the light bar going across the back. Love that feature. I think it looks really sharp. And it still is identifiable as an RX350. It still has those body characteristics that I would come to know and expect. But with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving a Lexus RX350 for the last 8 days? Well, here's the thing. I like this car a lot. I've been fortunate enough to sample a lot of Lexus's products this year, and they're fantastic. For being cars, they do everything you want them to do. They're quiet, they're simple, they're easy to drive, they're relaxing, they're decently quick, the most of them. So overall, I really, really enjoy Lexus products. However, something started bothering me the more and more I drove this car, and that is the technology. There's a lot of technology in here. Let's run through a couple. This vehicle has a driver attention system that if it can't see you, it yells at you and tells you to sit up like a Catholic school nun slapping your hand with a ruler. The heated seats and climate controls are all through a touchscreen. If your touchscreen doesn't work, you don't get to adjust that. The door handles aren't door handles anymore. They're just buttons. And not only on the inside, but on the outside. The actual fixed door handle doesn't move. There's just a button inside that you press. The steering wheel buttons, although it's cool that you can switch what they do, the car has to confirm that you do want to do the thing that you set it to do. What I mean is you have to rest your finger on the select button until it highlights on the head-up display, and then you can use it. So I wanted to change my music, and I just tapped it really quick, and the car said, no, I don't know what you want. I have to hold my finger there, and it goes skip track, and then I can skip the track. Overcomplicated, too much tech, annoying. The shifter doesn't need to be this complicated. My dad couldn't figure out how to put into park for about 3 or 4 minutes. And my dad's a very competent guy, so it's not easy right off the bat, someone coming from an older Lexus product like a majority of their customer base does. The 2.4 liter turbo is great. It's a good engine, but I honestly do miss the outgoing 3.5 V6. That engine was basically chiseled out of stone, and I had much faith in it lasting a long time. And that's what all of this boils down to. The RX350 is a great car to drive and own today. But what made Lexus so special in my book was the fact that their products still work 10 years later, 20 years later. And fortunately, during the week I had this RX350, I actually filmed 2 other older Lexus products. One of which was a Lexus LS430. That V8 engine is fantastic and reliable. That car was built so solid. And I'm not saying that this car isn't. I don't particularly know if it's gonna last forever or not. But when I hear turbocharged engine, well, that turbo is gonna have to get changed out in about 10, 20 years. What happens when the battery starts going dead? My door handles don't work. There is an emergency latch, but why did it need to be electronic in the first place? What happens if my screen starts to delaminate? Then I don't get to change my climate controls. What happens when the driver attention system starts going haywire and thinks that I'm not looking at the road and just endlessly beeps? Makes the car nearly undrivable. It seems as though Lexus has taken their car built out of stone and swapped it out for paper mache. Now again, I am living in the hypotheticals right now. Maybe this stuff will be as reliable as their old vehicles, and I genuinely, truly hope that it is. But I guess only time will tell. And for right now, I'm happy to be driving the RX350. Been very comfortable over these last 8 days. And for that, I have to say thank you, Lexus, for lending it to me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you, of course, to Lexus and Drive Shop for facilitating the cleaning and arrangement of this vehicle, as well as the Midwestern Automotive Media Association for getting me involved. They are all fantastic. I'll leave a couple other Lexus product videos at the end of this one. I love their other stuff, so please go check that out. They've been great to work with, and I look forward to testing more Lexuses in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.